Hello, friends. Hope you're doing fine. Today, we will try to understand a very important point called Bhrighu Bindu, which is basically, a spatial transit point, a delicate point in the zodiac out of 360-degree, one specific point. So, this is a point which is like, whenever there is a planet transit over this point, there is something special event which can take place in your life. This was discussed by Sri R.G. Rao sir in his book Nari, as well as by C.S. Patel in his several books. Is one of the chapter is also mentioned about Bhrighu Bindu. Now, I want to explain you how the events can trigger, what is the event can trigger, when the event can trigger. So just before understanding that, we need to understand the what is Bhrighu Bindu actually. You see, Bhrighu Bindu is a spatial point in the zodiac which is a midpoint of Moon and Rahu. So imagine this is a chart. So this is Moon and this is Rahu. So the midpoint of this Moon and Rahu, there is a Bhrigu Bindu. This BB is a Bhrigu Bindu. Okay. Whenever any transit planet transits over the Bhrigu Bindu point, a spatial event will trigger as per the Dasha and the antardasha. Okay. So whenever there is a transit planet transiting over these particular specific points, which is a sensitive point between Rahu and Moon, there is a midpoint of Rahu and Moon, then a special event will trigger. But it will depend on the transit, which is guided by the Dasha and the Antardasha. The results can also come, like, if a planet particularly aspect over this Bhrigu Bindu. So that means if this is a Bhrigu Bindu, a planet as from here, or like, here, it can aspect the Bhrigu Bindu. But whenever it is transiting over the Bhrigu Bindu point, any specific planet transiting over the Bhrigu Bindu point, a special event can trigger for the Jatak. So, it is mentioned by C.S. Patel sir that this the functional, the good results will come if good planet transit over this particular point, and bad result will come if bad planet transit over this particular point. But however, personally, after several charts of, like, this timing of events, which I try to study, and I have found that if the dasha and the antardasha is of Chidra Graha, which is the eighth lord, Maraka lord, the 64 Navamsha, or the 22nd Rekkana, 12 lord, this kind of Chidra Graha dasha, if it is there, antardasha it is there, the problems actually, it can also come if a benefic transit over that particular point, if provided the dasha and the antardasha is of Chidra Graha. And the functional benefic and the malefic also we need to see and consider in the chart. So before going into the practical example, I just want to also highlight this one more point, which is the standard of transits, which is the Sun and the Mars always give the results before touching the natal position. So whenever Sun and Mars has to give any results, just say imagine, like, whichever, like, this chart is there. So imagine Sun has to give a result, and Sun is approaching towards Rahu. So whenever, like, Rahu is 11 degree, so whenever Rahu or Mars transits in this particular house, and it has to give some results, it will start giving the result before 11 degree, which is around the one Navamsha you can take, like around some 8-9 degree onwards, the result can trigger. Venus and Jupiter at the time of crossing the position of that particular point, natal point. So imagine Venus and Jupiter has to give a result. So whenever it crosses this particular point, then only, like, the specific natal point, then the result is triggered. And Moon and Saturn at the time of crossing the position. So when you are leaving the natal position degrees, if Saturn and Moon are there, it has to give some result. It will give the results. Mercury is throughout. Okay. Rahu Ketu is also like Jupiter, and it is not mentioned, but practically seeing, Rahu Ketu is like Jupiter. I will also show this from this chart. So first of all, this is a chart of a Jatak, and we need to understand the Bhrigu Bindu, how it is affecting. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to find out the middle point between Moon and Rahu. There's a very easy calculation. It is there. what you just need to do is, you see, the longitude of the moon is, you see, the longitude of the moon is 25-degree Taurus. So it is one sign, 25-degree, 34 minute. And the longitude of the Rahu is 11-degree Pisces, 16 minute. So basically, longitude of Rahu is 11-degree. So, like, Pisces in the sense 11 sign cross, 11-degree, 16 minutes. So if you calculate, the moon degree will come 55-degree because Taurus 25-degree and Rahu is Pisces 11-degree. So it is 341-degree. Now, what you need to do is, if the moon degree is lesser than the Rahu degree, you need to add it up by 360-degree. So what I have done is 55 plus 360-degree. You can see here 55 plus 360-degree. It is 415-degree. And Rahu degree is the same as 341-degree. So you need to minus from the moon degree. It is coming, if I subtract 415 from 341, like it is coming 74-degree. Then we have to further divide it by 2 because it is a middle point. So it is coming 37-degree. So now what you need to do, you just need to add up this particular degree into the degree of the Rahu, which is Pisces 11-degree. So 37-degree plus 341-degree, if we do, we are getting 378-degree. Then it is, since it is more than 360 degrees, so basically 360, if you minus, it is coming 18.5-degree, which is Aries 18-degree 30 minute, as far as my calculation goes. So this is how you should do mathematically. But you see what is there in the Jagannath Hora software, it is already mentioned Bhrigu Bindu points. You see, this is Bhrigu Bindu. This particular is Bhrigu Bindu. This particular is Bhrighu Bindu. It is mentioned 18-degree 25 minutes. Now, this is as per the exact calculation of the minutes and everything, which I'm just doing an approximation just to make you understand. So mine has come 18-degree 30 minute, but here it is mentioned. Mine is 18-degree 30 minute, but here it is mentioned 18-degree and 25 minute. So this is a sensitive point. In the chart, you can clearly see this by the BB it is mentioned, Bhrighu Bindu. Okay. So what happened is, what I mean to say is, this Jatak is a male Jatak, and his mother was into a coma for more than a year. She was suffering medical, everything was going on, but nothing, like, no improvement was happening. Every day deterioration was happening, and she was into tremendous pain. So what happened on 28th of July 2023? This is the transit chart. The internal is the horoscope and the external is the transit. So what happened on 28 July 2023? This guy actually lost his mother. Okay, so we see that that particular time, this Bhrigu Bindu, you notice Bhrigu Bindu is 18-degree and 30 minutes as per as my calculation. And Jupiter was there in that particular house and Rahu was there. Now we need to understand the thing. See, if we go to the transit, we see that Jupiter degree during that time is 19-degree 5 minute. 19-degree 5 minute. That particular time, Jupiter was transiting over Aries at 19-degree 5 minute, and Rahu was at 4-degree 50 minute. Okay. The Dasha prevailing during that time, this 28th of this your July 2023, was Jupiter Mahadasha and Moon Antardasha. Okay. Now coming back, you see, the moon is a karaka of mother, as well as the fourth lord is also the karaka of, like, the represents the mother. The fourth lord is basically Jupiter, and moon is there. Moon is also the karaka of mother. Now, what we are seeing is that from the moon, if you take the eighth lord of the longevity lord from the moon, it is the Jupiter itself. What I'm trying to understand is, eighth lord is the longevity for anything. So the karaka planet from the moon, the eighth lord is a Chidra Graha actually. From the Jatak point of view, it is a Maraka lord because it is a seventh lord. But from the moon, the natal moon, the eighth lord is also Jupiter. So it is a functional malefic from the mother point is concerned. Okay. Now coming back, some very sensitive and very minutely you have to listen to this so that you understand. You see, I'm going back to the natal position of the chart again. Now look at this. See, Jupiter degree in the chart is 4 degree 45 minute. In the natal chart, Jupiter degree in Aries, which is the eighth lord of moon, the exalted moon of mother, is 4 degree and 45 minute. Okay, and the Bhrighu Bindu is 18 degree and 25 minute or 18 degree 30 minute, whichever is like whatever you want to take. On that very day, so again we am repeating, these degrees are very important. Jupiter, the fourth lord Jupiter degree is 4 degree 45 minute. Dasha is Jupiter and moon, and the Bhrighu Bindu is 18 degree 25 minute. Now you see, focus here. That very day, Jupiter was transiting in 19 degree 5 minute. Now here what we have mentioned is Venus and Jupiter at the time of crossing the position. This is a standard transit norms. Okay. So basically Jupiter was crossing Bhrigu Bindu during that time. The eighth lord was crossing Bhrigu Bindu that time of mother. And Rahu was transiting 4 degree 50 minute. 4 degree 50 minutes. So coming back again, you see the Jupiter natal degree, mother's representation, the fourth lord degree is 4 degree 45 minute. On that very day, on that very moment, Rahu was transiting at 4 degree 50 minute, just 5 minutes from that point. And what happened is this guy, unfortunately, that very day, this, he lost his mother. So Bhrigubindu is a very, very sensitive point, and Bhrigubindu, whenever a planet transit over that Bhrigubindu point, something special or the other, you can expect. And every month, moon transit over Bhrigubindu once a month. 27 days approximately it takes to cross all the zodiacs. So every month, a moon will cross once. See the chart. Okay, see the chart. Go to this particular, this Jagannath Hora. If you want to calculate, I have shown the process. Otherwise, you just go and you see the Bhrigu Bindu, which is 21 degree. Whichever charts you want to go, you just see like the Bhrigu Bindu points. You will be just a moment, just a moment. So just in the chart, you will see the Bhrigu Bindu point will be shown in the Jagannath Hora as BB. Okay. So then you relate that whenever the planet transits over that specific, see why it happened? Because Jupiter, the Karak of mother, not the Karak of mother, the fourth lord. So it also represents mother. And exactly on the same degree, Rahu was transiting, as well as Jupiter, who is the eighth lord of moon. It was also transiting on Bhrigu Bindu. And the event triggered. Why the event triggered? Because the Dasha during that time was of Jupiter moon only. So Jupiter moon. See Jupiter, you now understand from this point of view. The Jupiter eighth lord is moon. So from all the corner, the indication was of a death of mother. So this is how you should minutely study the chart. You should understand the chart and predict the event accordingly. So I hope you have understood the event and why this event has triggered, why the sensitive points are considered, why the timing of events has happened during that time. Any questions, kindly comment in the comment box. Thank you very much.